No such
Yo,
What's up, everybody? Men can't always be wrong. Love your life, huh?
so to be alive.
There's beauty in the struggle.
Booty, booty. No, I can't sing.
beauty and shit from that.
Hey, friend. Hey, huh?
Bless.
Fucking got nigga.
Come on.
Nigga.
Long way.
That is his
Went the
went
wrong
wrong
way.
way.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your guy T Swin.
Your boy J.Bean.
Hey, Bizzle. What's up, everybody? Late night, jumping back in, man. Going live. Shout out to Francis for my. Go get her book, man. Can you hear me? It is available now on Amazon. Make sure you go get it. And like always, man, your boy got to show love. Always got to show love, man. Right there for you, man. Go check that book out. It's a good read. If you're having communication problems in your relationships in your life with your children, check this book out, man. Open your mind up, open your eyes. Sometimes you got to check yourself before you check somebody else. Get the book, man. Let's see. Hey, yeah, beauty and struggle. Don't feel good in the moment, though. Hey, that's 100%. It don't feel good.
Yeah.
But like I say, everything happened for a reason. Everything happened for a reason, man.
All in God's plan.
Hey, much love, much respect, man. You welcome. You welcome. And yeah, we try to be dope. We try to. We do a little something over here. You know. Yeah. What is going on, JB? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling grateful, man. I'm feeling grateful today, man.
Yes, sir.
Like we were saying, man, you gotta, like the song says, you gotta love yours, man. Cause it could be a lot, it could be a lot worse, you know. Could be a lot worse.
Yes, ma'am. Everything is part of God's plan. It's all in the plan. We may not like it, we may not understand it, but it's all in the plan.
Yeah.
For real.
So, like the way I see it, man, if you're still going through the same thing over and over again, that means that you haven't learned the lesson you were supposed to learn yet.
Yeah. You gotta do a little self-evaluation. Man, in my spirituality studies, man, and like studying Ifa, West African spiritual system, it said that the story is that we chose the life that we had before we came down here, you know, and that we come down here to fulfill our purpose. And if we don't fulfill our purpose in this lifetime, we keep coming back until we complete that purpose to return back to the Almighty Creator. You know, whatever religious system you got, faith-based, whatever, that's on you. But we all got a purpose here. Everybody's got a gift, everybody's got a talent, everybody's got a purpose they got to complete. You know. Let's see, we got some more stuff up here. We got some more comments. Hey, Jeff Clay, man. What's up, bro? What's up, man? Shoot, man. I shoot you the link where you can jump in. You can jump in on this. Let's see. Yeah, bro. If you want to jump in and just talk, bro, we bring you on here. Let's see. Let me get that done. Bring Brother Jeff in here. Let's see. Let me see if I can get him. Man, how you been, JB, though, man? What's going on in your world, bro?
Oh, nothing, man. Like I said, man, just working hard, making other people money. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna say this too, man. I think I done said this before, man. Get your own stuff going, man. Because either you're gonna be your own king of your own kingdom, or you're gonna be a pawn to somebody else's. Right now, your boy J.Bean being a pawn, but I'm about to get back to my king status.
Yeah. Bro, man, I'm blessed, bro. Let's see, man. We got another comment for Fran. Shout out to Fran, man. She's doing a speaking engagement, man. Coming 2024, man. Y'all make sure y'all check it out. I believe that we all have to complete our purpose too before we can return to the end. Yes, ma'am. That is true. That is true. I believe that. Some while ago, man, back in like I believe 2018, I started looking into E5. Hey, Jeff, man, I sent it to you on Messenger, on Facebook Messenger, bro. All you gotta do is click on, bro. We'll get you in. Click on the link I sent you, and you'll get you in. And I started looking into spirituality, man. I wanted to see what we were doing before Christianity, what our ancestors did and what they practiced. And I started looking into that, man. I came across E5. Man, one of my high school friends, middle school, high school friends, man, she's from Cuba. I found out that she was into Ifa too, and we shared some of the same orishas. For me, man, Shango, Yemoja. It may sound like foreign language to some of y'all, but yeah, man, those are my governing heads, man. Those are my deities that watch over me, man. And I had a Baba here in Houston, man, Baba Obafemi Ifeanyi. And man, I just started diving into it, man. But man, your boy doing good, man. I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? Got some plans for stuff coming up in the future. For the podcast grow.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
More music to come. Somebody had a discussion there. Somebody had a discussion, man. Yes, ma'am. The ancestors are the truth, man. And if you pay attention to almost all other cultures, they honor their ancestors, or they have an ancestor altar in their home. They light candles. They put fruit, water, things that their ancestor loved when they was living with them, you know, on this earth with them, and they celebrate and they acknowledge their ancestors. You know, a lot of us have been taught that, you know, it's the wrong thing, though, that's evil. But you look at almost every other culture, they have an ancestral altar, or they pay homage to the ancestors.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to get back to it, man. Yeah, when you start doing your research, you start seeing that a lot of things are tied. A lot of statues, emblems, symbolism, everything is tied in. It's hidden in Christianity. I don't want to get too much into religion, but a lot of things are hidden in plain sight. You just got to do your research.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when we did an interview, like when we kind of first started with Dinas Lemire, he has a whole documentary about his journey to Africa, researching the ancient African religions and stuff. So that was a good interview, man. Shout out to him too, man.
Yeah, you can holler at Dinas Lemire, man. He does tours. Man, they go to Sierra Leone. He takes people, man. Another brother, man, too, man, Ashra Kwesi. He's out of Dallas, Texas, man. He studied with Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen. And he takes people on the Know Thyself tour. And I believe they do it like twice a year in the summertime. They take brothers and sisters to Ethiopia. I think there might be something going on in Ethiopia right now, but he takes you to Egypt. He takes you to the pyramids. And him and Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen, man, they study the hieroglyphics. They know how to interpret the hieroglyphics. So they take you there, man, and they show you the real history that still exists today, from stories that have been put into the Bible and everything like that. So, man, check that out, man. Know Thyself.
Yeah.
Dr. Ashra Kwesi, man. Check him out, bro. I've seen the brother do a lecture at Shrine of the Black Madonna here in Houston, Texas. We have Shrine of Black Madonna in Atlanta, Georgia. I think they have another one somewhere in the States. But, man, tap into your community, man. Start looking into your history. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff they don't teach in these schools and putting these books.
And not only that, man, it's a lot of countries in Africa that's like welcoming us back to Africa, man. Like Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and South Africa too, right? It's another one where we can actually get citizenship.
Yeah.
You know? So
you
gotta remember, man.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta look at your options, man.
Yeah. Most definitely. Especially now, man.
You might want to get out of here one day.
Exactly. Have an exit strategy.
Yeah, you got T Swin, man. I'm looking at I'm looking at moving somewhere else overseas, man. I plan on spending my later days in life retiring overseas, man, and living like a king, the king that I am.
Right.
Yes,
This right now, well, at least right now, the American dollar, man, it goes a long way in other countries. So you can leave here and live like a king, man. We were talking to Jay, our last interview, man. He said he like everybody that's in his building where he live at got nannies for $300 a month. A living nanny for $300 a month. That's crazy. So
let's see, man. We got a comment from Fran. She says, did y'all read the new book, Bozama St. John, The Urgent Life? She talks about keeping the memories alive of her loved ones by continuing to repeat their names by having their name repeated. No, I haven't, but I am familiar with that. I'm familiar with doing that. You know, let's see what else we got.
She said she was in India. She felt rich.
Is that? Oh yeah, man. That's why. That's and one thing too, man. Fran went to India, and I tell this to everybody, man. You have to broaden your horizons. You got to get yourself up out the States. You have to travel.
Yeah.
Get your passport. Go somewhere else, man, and see how people live. See the culture. See the way of life. See how people eat. And you get a chance to see, man, how people ain't worried about the stuff that we be stressing about over here.
Yeah.
How the food be healthier. And the people look younger for longer periods of time. And like JB had mentioned, man, you know, we got a couple Christmases, man. A friend brought up, 120 years. I believe I'm gonna live longer than that 20 or 30 some more Christmases, man. I believe so, man. Don't let the gray hair fool you.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we actually, me and T Swin, we trying to head out to the Philippines and Thailand. We got a idea for a show that we kind of want to get going, but we're gonna let y'all everybody know about that.
Jay welcomed us out to the Philippines, man. I've been wanting to go, man. And then basketball is big in the Philippines too, man. Your boy gonna give me a couple games in when I go. So I gotta redeem myself, man. I played some Filipinos, man, a while back, and they kicked our butts. I got to redeem myself, man. That's for real. For real. And then Muay Thai is also another thing too that they practice in the Philippines. So my coach, man, my coach, shout out to Coach Benito. He's trained and he's spent some time in the Philippines. He loves it, man. There's a video of him kicking down a banana tree in the Philippines, man. Yeah. Muay Thai is real. And we got my guy JB here.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Practicing the jiu-jitsu. Hey, Kung Fu Joe.
Not Kung. Hey, I'm gonna get you sucker. That was my movie, man.
Hey, man. Joe Jutsu. Boy bad.
Right.
Boy bad, man. Don't let the soft voice and the smooth taste fool you, man. Boy bad.
I'm bigger than what I look on TV. No.
Yeah, man. My coach, man, he kicked down his video of him kicking down a banana tree. For real.
Yeah.
He said it hurt like hell, but he did it. And there's video, man, multiple Muay Thai, man, kicking bricks, kicking poles. Yeah, man, martial arts is really it strengthens your bones. You know what I'm saying? Man, I remember when I started, man, my shins were hurting like hell. But after a while, man, I can kick the hell out of a bag. I know I can hurt a person. Not saying I want to, but if you run up on me, man, and you catch one of these kicks, your life ain't gonna be the same.
Yeah, man, it builds a whole different type of strength. It's weird.
Tomorrow gonna be different for you. Tomorrow gonna be really different for you. Yeah.
Yeah, then plus in the Philippines too, they have their own martial art. They have Filipino like Kali, Arnis, and Eskrima. That's where that originates from. It's bladed art. But a lot of people don't know the Philippines was invaded by Spain. So
yeah. That's why they get a lot of their last names from. That's why a lot of them also too can speak Spanish. If you speak Spanish, you're pretty much good in the Philippines, because then a lot of them understand it. And so Miss Fran said that she actually practicing jiu-jitsu too.
Oh, okay.
Jiu-jitsu. Hey, that is one of the best martial arts to practice, because you don't have to be the most athletic. You don't have to be the strongest. As long as you know technique, you're a dangerous person.
Most definitely.
And so, so Lavelle Crawford, man, JB, man, Lavelle Crawford practices at the same gym that JB goes to, man. And what Lavelle Crawford say about jiu-jitsu? Why he practice it?
Because it's effective. Well, no, the style that we practice is a little bit different. We practice we don't practice straight BJJ. We practice Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. So it's more based on realistic street fighting than more just on the mat. Because BJJ leaves you open and susceptible to striking, because we actually strike along with our grappling. So we're a little bit, and we actually practice self-defense techniques, like we get caught off guard. So
oh man, we got Mr. Clay in the building. We about to bring him in. Yeah, I remember Lavelle Crawford said, man, he wanted something that's gonna help him in real life in the street fight. So that's why he started with jiu-jitsu. So man, we're gonna bring Mr. Clay on, man. What's going on, sir?
Hey, what's going on, fam? What's going on with you guys, man?
What's, man, chilling, man. We up, man. Just going live.
All right.
Introduce yourself to the people. Let them know who you are and what you're about, man.
All right. Most certainly. Of course, one of my handles is Tswin, which you see on there. And my name is going to be J.F. Clay, Jeff Clay. Then we do we Facebook Live Wind Down Wednesday, which we had an opportunity to get you guys on there. But we got to really schedule and really have some fun with it. I hadn't been at that one for too long, but also I do another one. It's called the Truth Session on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern time. We do that also. So that's pretty much me. A number of other things I do though, but
yes, sir. Make sure y'all tune in to that. Make sure y'all tune in.
Yeah, most definitely.
Man, I've been watching for a little bit, man, and you are expert in many things. So let people know what you get into, man, what your teachings are about.
Oh, wow. Okay. So my background, of course, I used to be on the circuit. I'm an apostle and a prophet, but not the quote unquote church apostle and prophet.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But the real ones, you know what I mean? That really understand the task at hand and really understand how to articulate truth and not religion and not man-made doctrine.
Yes, sir.
So we teach along those lines as well. Also, I'm also a counselor too. I do therapy. I do counseling. So I do a number of things. I heard you guys talking about the arts. I teach Tai Chi. I do Tai Chi. So yeah,
it's all the self-healing.
Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we just really like pretty much find that level of truth that is consistent with that person. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when I say truth, it's because a lot of what we get is nothing more than just regurgitated religion. So, but you really want the truth, because the truth is the only thing that can identify something and cause you to be able to demonstrate with it. And that's the awesome thing about truth. When you really begin to get truth, there's a common thread runs through everything. And for me, I always say that there's more than one way to get into the city. If you think about, like, you're there in H-Town, if you think about it, how many highways come into H-Town?
I-10, 59, 45, 288. There's so many.
610, 99.
Exactly. So they all end up at the same place, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's the kind of premise that I use, because I think all of us have a piece of the puzzle. We all have a spark. We all have a piece. And if you perfect that piece, you can touch someone else's piece, and then you get a greater picture or a larger picture. And so we continue to touch each other, and before you know it, we have a larger picture, but everyone is doing their part. For example, you're a truck driver, so you know what assembly means, assembly line, how things go down assembly line.
Yeah.
But the people that work on the assembly line, everyone is not doing the same thing. Everyone has a different function that's on that assembly line.
Yeah, it's a team effort.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so I think what has happened is that we've all tried to overshadow each other
Yeah.
by saying mine is better than yours, mine is more important than yours.
Yeah.
And so what happens is we all end up just canceling each other out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is some of what we've gotten into where we're canceling each other out.
Yeah, we all
Because
got individual talents, but our talents complement each other.
yes,
A lot of times,
absolutely.
I say a lot of times in the society and what we've been brainwashed right now is me, 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 me. I ain't got to depend on nobody else, but you ain't gonna grow if you don't get that help. Sometimes
Correct.
you go so far just by yourself.
Correct. You're absolutely correct. Because if you think about it, we can't do anything holistically without synergism. We really need synergy
Yep.
because synergy, where the parts are not greater than the sum of the whole, but however, everything that's in the whole is in the part. And that could be kind of tricky sometimes because you're functioning apart from the whole holistically. There is the tendency to believe that you're the only one that knows, you're the only one that has it, and if someone doesn't follow you or think the way that you do, then something is wrong with you or the method by which you are using to do what it is that you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I found that in myself. Like, people shun, like, dismiss people, but they might have the missing piece that you need to come together for y'all to be successful.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the whole key. That's the
Yeah.
whole key, to realize what key or code do you hold to the process, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at what's happening, for example, in social media, we're talking about the gatekeepers. We're
Yeah.
talking about certain people that are in certain positions that will only allow certain people to enter in or enter out or exit out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So, but what is happening is the authority isn't given to the right ones to utilize. So therefore, they're doing things with it that they probably perhaps shouldn't be doing, right?
Yeah.
So, but when you put it in the right hands, it is properly distributed,
Yep.
and then we all share. We'll all have common again, and you guys were alluding to that earlier when you was talking about having. I was listening to one of your pieces you put out there on Facebook,
Yes,
where
sir.
you were talking about being blessed. You was playing that piece called being blessed, and you was actually demonstrating that, man, to me, I'm rich. I got a roof over my head. I got a family, children.
Mhm.
This is what happens when energy is properly used and distributed.
Yes, sir.
We all have common, and when I say common, and what I mean by we all have common, doesn't mean that we're all going to have the same thing. Because see, T Swin, T Swin might want a Mercedes, right? But then, right?
Yeah.
But then I might want an Audi. But
Yeah.
but for me, that's what I wanted, and you got what you wanted, and that's all common. Because
Yeah.
why? It's what we wanted or what we needed. So, and we got that. So that means that it became common to us. That's our commonality.
Yeah.
So when people, when you put the right people in the right place, they should do the right thing. So the right things will happen.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing, man, when you really see togetherness, unity, wholeness, man. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. In our
Everybody's on the
community,
same
man,
page.
we have a lot of the HNIC. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or we feel like we need to be the only one so we can shine over everybody else or keep everybody at a certain position. We don't want the people at the same level or above us. We got to get rid of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
most definitely.
Now,
Yes.
I remember
now
watching. Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
T-Swin.
Jimmy.
I would
Go,
say I
now, go
remember
ahead.
watching the interview. This guy was saying that he made his most money not being the main guy. Sometimes, sometimes you have to sit back and you can be the fifth or sixth guy and still make a nice amount of money because one person has the vision and knows exactly how to get to that goal. all you got to do is put yourself in there and follow and play your position, and then we can
Play a
all
part,
get to we can all get paid or get to that objective we're trying to get to.
Get to the goal
Yes.
line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, for me, the way that I came across you guys is that when I get on social media, I'm actually looking for something that's positive. You know what I mean? I'm scouring for someone that is making sense, that has the ability to think. And I'm not knocking anyone else because they're doing whatever it is that they're doing. But for me, and so when I came across you guys, wait a minute, hold on, let me peep at this here. So when I see you, I said, man, I said, I can get with this. Let me do this. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been following you guys. I haven't been on everything, so I'm playing a little catch up. But you guys, man, your information is solid. It's not way out there in La La Land somewhere. It's not Looney Tune. You know what I mean? You know, you're not trying to frame something that doesn't make sense at all. You know what I mean? And you have a lot of that out here on social media. I mean, you just have it, you know?
Yeah. When we put information out, we try to factual information.
Yeah.
Or point you in the direction where you can get the information or tap into somebody so you can get it yourself and do more research on your own so you can learn.
Or at least spark an interest. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out. Or at least spark an interest. At least spark an interest in something, you know? Plant a seed. That's what we're trying to do, man. Just plant a seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, a question I got for you. You say you're an apostle. When did you grow up? Was this thing was this teaching a part of your family? Or when you got a certain age, you wanted to search and find out things for yourself? How did you get into it?
Well, what happened was, as of course, as small children, my mother took us to church. One of the first churches that we attended was the Apostolic Church. Yeah, oh my boy. And coming up in that particular time, man, it was really strict, the Apostolic Church at that time. But I remember as a small boy, I was sitting on the front pew, man, and I like your storytelling. You can tell really good stories. I was sitting on the front pew, and the pastor was ministering. I never forget this. I never will. In fact, I'm putting it in my book too. I'm writing a book about it. But I got struck. I was sitting there as a small boy, and the preacher, I mean, he had lathered up. He had worked up that sweat, man. And I mean, and when I looked at him, it was a glow around him. Yeah. You know, and I was like, wow, look at that. And at that particular moment, I realized, I said, you know what? I want to be one of those. And and something came over me, you know, and of course it was the spirit, but it came over me. And at that particular moment, it touched me in a way that it started to prepare me for my walk of life. So it wasn't until later on in my life that I really accepted that calling as an apostle. Gotcha. So yeah. Hopefully that answers something. But yeah, as an apostle, well, what happened was my board of Presbytery, they conferred upon me the certification of an apostle. Just in the natural realm. Spiritually, I was already that. But
yes, sir.
When you start talking about the apostle, I'm not talking about what you see in the church, those guys that you see in the church, because that's something altogether different. Those they have been proselytized. But when you get to the true realm of the apostolic, excuse me, y'all, because my sinuses are bothering me.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's season. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so, but when you look at that, when you look at the real apostolic, when you look at it, it's actually the word apostle, they translated it from the Hebrew, which is another Hebrew word called shilach, meaning a messenger, meaning one that brings the message. And so the Greeks got it, and they translated it as opposed to transliterating it. They got it, and they came with the apostolic, or they call it apostolos. And so the Greeks got it, and they translated it as opposed to transliterating it. They got it, and they came with the apostolic, or they call it apostolos. And they got it, and they translated it as opposed to transliterating it. They got it, and they came with the apostolic, or they call it apostolos. But when I talk about apostolic and talking about the apostle, it actually means the divine beginning. And those that have the ability to understand the divine beginning and have the ability to navigate it. So that's when you get into the real apostolic. When you get into the real apostolic, it's not talking about a church. It is talking about one that has a divine beginning power, that has the ability to navigate with it, to utilize it, you know, to cause things to align themselves. And that's when you start really getting into the truth again, not into religion, not preaching religion, but getting to the truth, so that you can begin to understand that everything is interrelated. You know, when you guys were talking about Ifa, when you start talking about, when you start talking about the ancestors, when you start talking about them, you're gonna all of it is gonna bring you to the one.
Yes,
You're gonna
sir.
start talking about Osun, Ogun, Umverlinga, Obatala,
Batala,
Unkulunkulu,
Rumela.
you know, So you got all of that. You're gonna come to that oneness. It's about oneness. And that's where that apostolic realm comes in, because it starts dealing with the oneness, and you don't put one over the other. You align them, just like the assembly line. You align them, because it's just like our body. If we look at our body, we got two eyes. The eyes can say, hey, you know what? I want to do what the nose do. The nose can say, hey, I want to do what the eye do. Right?
Yeah.
So when we look at our body tells us that there are different components and parts that has to work together to maintainize the body.
Work in harmony. Yeah.
Yes, work in harmony. Yes, excellent choice of words. Yeah, you got to work in harmony. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
so is there anything that you practice for, like, to keep yourself balanced?
Yes, I do. I meditate. Of course, I do meditation. I do sounding. I do sound bowls. I sound the shofar, and then of course, I do Tai Chi and some other forms of art. So, but yeah, that's pretty much how I keep my balance, to stay balanced, and of course, to stay current, to date on information, knowing what is and what isn't. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what you're reading, what you're hearing, what you're accepting, what you're sensing, what you're discerning. So yeah, a number of things. So yes, sir.
When did you pick up Tai Chi?
Oh man, I've been doing that for about 20 some years or so. Yeah,
I learned about it in the 90s. My pops used to have a VHS tape.
Yeah, yes,
everybody know what that is. VHS, yeah, the VHS tape, and the art of self-healing. And man, it really works. Like me myself, I'm a veteran.
Yes,
I did 10 years in the Navy. I'm a disabled veteran.
Okay.
Well, I got injuries, I got pains, and those motions, like I say, it releases endorphins.
Oh, yes, yes.
Body's natural painkiller. And those motions really work. I lived in Japan for a year.
Okay.
And I used to get up in the morning. I used to sometimes I go out in town, I used to stay with a friend. And I get up early in the morning and catch the train, come back to base. And I would see people in the park early in the morning, old and young.
Yes.
Practicing Tai Chi.
Yes.
You'll see them out there, man, and nobody's forcing them. Nobody's making. They out there on their own. They doing it and in unison, and it was a beautiful thing. I say, man, I wish we had something like this in the States.
Yes. Oh, yes, man. Moving that energy around, because you most definitely can remove that old, stale, stuffed up chi and take on the fresh, new chi. And it's all about the movements. And once you really understand that you are actually really controlling energy, what you sense, what you feel will take on new characteristics. And you really begin to feel the extension as you are moving your hands, your feet, your eyes, as you're doing that and releasing energy and then taking on energy. Man, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir. Yes,
it's
sir.
a beautiful thing.
Like I was telling that last guest, Jay, man, I took a meditation back in 2015, and it was amazing. I had took up
Yes.
transcendental meditation. And what I learned, man, it was just the feeling and how I felt after, man, the clarity in the mind, the focus,
Yes.
just calmness in the body. They say when you meditate, you can get more rest than you can out of 8 hours of sleep. And I
indeed. Yes.
I believe that.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Yes, no, for sure.
I have a
Once
question
you go-
for you. I have
Sure,
a question
go
for you,
ahead.
Mr. Clay. So what other cultures have you like pulled from? You know, I believe Tai Chi is mostly an Asian
Yes.
practice. What other kind of practice? Like, is any kind of practice like from India or any kind of practice from any other region of the world that you use?
Well, of course, you know they're going to say that most of our meditation comes from India. Depending upon what level of meditation that you're in. But then also there's the Asian side of meditation. So I kind of take and mix that. I'll mix Asian, Indian, and for lack of a better term, Christianity, because there is a level of meditation in there if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, so that you don't get ensnared and entrapped inside of the building. Because here's what our ancestors did. Our ancestors knew that we were under attack and we needed to somehow code and hide the spirit, our energy. So what they did was they didn't hide it in the Bible. They hid it in the church. And what I mean by that is that they never intended for us to go in the church and stay in the church. They only intended for us to go through and out the church with the spirit, regaining the energy. You know, so when you look at Prophet Nat Turner, that was one of the premise and the purpose of him coming forth to pick up that ancient energy, to pick up the spirit of the ancestors and free the people. So, but what happens to us sometimes is we get proselytized. We get caught up in the religious aspect of it and not the means of which it was given to us to recapture our souls and our spirits and not get trapped in that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. During my study, man, I found out that, you know, like our practices or like West African practices were hidden in Christianity.
Yes.
Kind of like what you're saying. So we still practice them in plain sight. And that some of the names of the saints and stuff like that, the colors, the garb, the colors that they wear was based off of the deities or part of our African spirituality.
Yes, you know? I agree.
And so I learned it, and so it was hidden in Christianity. Also, like I said, I had a Cuban friend. They practiced Santeria, but it's the same Shango, Yemoja, Obatala, Orumala, you know, all the same. And, so a lot of people, man, they think these things are negative, man, but you just got to do your research. You just got to check your history.
Absolutely.
Like, for me, what was it? I started looking and I was like, man, some of these things, they adding up. Some of it don't make sense.
Right. Yes.
You know, and I was like, okay, TV keeps showing us slavery, that our beginning came from slavery. And I'm like, nah, man, what did we do before colonization? What did our people practice before that?
Correct.
We were great people. We are great people.
Yes.
What did we practice before that? And that's how I started looking into that, you know.
Yeah, we had a great command of, I call it the realm of the spirit. We had a great command of it. We were one with it. We were one with everything. We were one with the surroundings. You know, we were still practicing telepathy. You know, we were still practicing levitation, and you know, we were doing all of this until we were bamboozled. You know, said we was hoodwinked.
Yeah.
You know what Malik Hard said, Malik El Shabar said.
What
he said we was bamboozled, hoodwinked, blindfolded, ran amok, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are absolutely correct. We were in tune. And the thing about it was that we didn't fear But
Yeah.
once we were infiltrated, what happened was we were taught fear.
Yeah.
And of course, we do know fear is not real. It is an illusion. But however, we know that danger is. We know that that is. So we know how to deal with danger, but we don't know how to deal with fear because it's not real. You know. And so people try to wrap their minds around it. And when they try to wrap their minds around it because it isn't real, now emotionally they're off, they're out of alignment, you know. So yeah.
Yeah. So also, man, I also have another question for you. Like you were saying that a lot of our culture was hitting that we hid it because we had to hide it, of course. Uh
Yeah, we had to hide our
there's a lot of
practices.
things. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of things. It's a lot of things that this in America we do, and we don't know why we do it. Like for instance, like when we say "God bless you" when somebody sneezes, right? So
Uh-huh.
that came from what I've read. Correct me if I'm wrong. I read that came from the belief that the devil entered through your nose. But nobody doesn't know that we say no for us. So nobody doesn't know we say that because of that reason. Just like
Uh-huh.
the commode, right? The commode,
Yeah.
like people call the commode the crapper, right? Not
Right.
knowing that the commode was named after a guy named Crapper was a series of commodes, So
Yeah.
it's like the same thing, just like in Brazil they have capoeira, so
Yeah, capoeira.
they hid that martial art in the
Hmm.
form as Africans. They hit that
Yeah.
martial art in a dance, so the people wouldn't know they were practicing martial arts. So
Correct. Yeah.
what other things as far as religion? No, this didn't enlighten me because this is very interesting to me. What other things were hidden in Christianity that we did in the past?
Well,
Mm.
well, I mean, for one,
Yeah.
there is the laying on of hands.
Yeah.
When they say, "Oh, I'm gonna lay hands on you."
Mm-hmm.
That's a common practice that we had because we use that for healing, and then
Mm-hmm.
also there's a Reiki.
Ricky, yep.
Yeah,
We
Reiki,
talked
Reiki,
about that.
Reiki. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the healing with the hands. It's the healing of the hands, which I do also. Um, we use that to actually literally heal, to unstop the meridians, to align the chakras, you
Yes, sir.
to activate the pineal gland. If you take a minute and think about it, when they normally lay hands on you, where do they put them at? Right there in the middle of your forehead, right?
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah, that's to what they're actually trying to do is stimulate your pineal gland.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Uh,
yes, so they could turn it on. So your pineal gland can be turned on. The reason why I call it pineal gland because if you look at it, it's shaped like a pine cone.
Yes, sir.
And when you look at it, it's spelled pine,
Mm-hmm.
Pineal, pineal gland. So it's a pineal gland and not a pineal gland, as people call it.
Yeah.
And then so people also call it the third eye. It's not the third
Yes,
eye,
sir.
it's the first eye because it is the first eye that is formed during gestation. It is that eye that we see that comes from Kemet or Mitzrayim that we
Yes,
see.
sir.
That comes from there. That is the first eye, and then later on during gestation, the duality begins to form. So that's our first viewing mechanisms, our pineal gland,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what people don't understand that it must be activated. You
Yes, sir.
have to activate it because it works in congruent with other things in your mind or in our minds or in our brains. For example, the magnetite. The magnetite that's in our minds, they're like little antennas that are all over our brain that transfer messages all over our brain. For example, just like the pyramids are all over the earth, that's
Mm-hmm.
how we have magnetite in our brain. So it communicates with the pineal gland and it sends information all through our mind. So we got information traveling. And that's how we in the old system transferred information through the pyramids. They were like,
Communicated, yeah.
yes, they were communicators. Yeah.
Now
And I'm
I'll say
sorry, go
this,
ahead.
and I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm a twin. I'm a
Okay,
twin.
yes, sir.
And
Yes,
as
sir.
a child, I really believe that, man. When we come here, we are close to the Creator, and the older we get, we kind of get further away from the Creator, and we have to find our way back to Him. You know, and as a kid, I remember communicating with my twin brother without even saying the word. That I could, you know, people might say it sound crazy, but I remember I could hear his thoughts, he could hear mine, and from across the room, and we would laugh when we was young kids in early elementary school. As we got older, it faded away. Sometimes certain things still happen. Like the first time my brother kissed a girl, my body started shaking.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We were connected. And so, in my little research and study, I found, you know, that back in the old days, ancient times, that's how we communicated long distance. Also, that you could, and some people want to get into astral projection and stuff like that. Travel, you could be somewhere, and you know, and communicate with your loved one from a long distance from anywhere.
Yes, I mean, you're straight up on point, because that deals with the quantum realm. We know that the quantum realm is a real realm, and it really exists. We know this. We also know that particles quantumly has the ability to be at more than one place at the same time, which means that you can be here, you could be there in Houston, Texas, but also you could be here in South Carolina. That's how the quantum principles work, because of the particles. The particles has the ability to go before and to also remain. That's quantum when you get into the quantum period. So when you talk about people being somewhere else, what that is, it's called quantum leaping. But what did they do? They gave it a crazy name called astral projection. You're astral project. So what does that do? It adds spookism to it.
Yeah.
But if you just say, hey, listen, man, I'm getting ready to quantum leap. I'm getting ready to leap. So what happens is your spirit is going to make a leap. It's going to enter in over on the other side. And the reason why you were able to communicate with your brother on that level was that you were able to, what we call paraboleo or parabolo. And it comes from the Greek word, or it comes from the word parable, which actually means to take and throw a thought, or to throw a word into someone else's mind, right? This is real, because why? Words are energy, they're spirit. So you can take and formulate a word and take and throw it in someone's mind, and it begins to talk to them. And it really actually begin to tell them what you are thinking, because what? It's your words, right?
And what's so funny is, you remember that show Quantum Leap back in the day? Like now, like after you explained the way you explained, I actually think that show was so silly. But now you explained the way that you explained it, like now that show actually makes kind of sense.
Yes, that put the truth right. Yeah,
from your face. Yeah,
right there. The best place to hide the truth is in what? Plain sight.
sight.
I always say they always give us a piece of truth, and we think it's outlandish, or we think it's way out there somewhere. But no, they showing you stuff that's already exists or what they about to do.
Yes.
You know, and and one time I did a video, man, a while back when I was talking about, I tried DMT. You familiar with DMT?
Yes, I'm familiar with it. Never tried it though, but I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, so I had tried it because I had questions. I wanted to know. I wanted to know what were all the capabilities of the human body. You know what I'm saying? What could we do? What things were hidden from us? You know what I'm saying? That this body is capable of doing. People probably listen like, man, he was way off somewhere with this conversation. But there's people that rock with this conversation. So we're gonna keep on going.
Yeah. Go ahead, I'm listening, Doug.
And so man, I tried it, and like your boy, man, T Swin, I don't get high, I don't mess with anything. But they say that it's a spiritual, you know, DMT or ayahuasca is spiritual. It's not recreational. And so I tried it, man, and like I say, man, shoot, man, I shot out my body, man. I was by like 100 yards away from my body. I had to walk back up to my body.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I said, man, this is real.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing experience. And when I came back, I was gone for about 20, 30 minutes outside of my body. When I came back, I was like, oh, this is real. And,
yes, sir.
Man, I knew that there was something after this life. that this body is physical. The
Right.
spirit will live on. The physical going disappear, but the spirit will live on. And
Yes.
I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried about when I leave from here.
Mm-hmm.
I said, man, what I felt and what I saw was like almost like I can't wait to get back to it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying?
It is the greatest high. There is no comparative high.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to use I didn't have to utilize the natural
DMT or ayahuasca.
the DMT. Yeah, I didn't have to utilize that.
Yeah.
I didn't have to utilize it. But what happened for me was I went on a 40-day fast.
Yeah.
Yep, I went on a 40-day fast with the first 6 days. I didn't take any liquids, no nothing. And then for the rest of the journey, I took 1 cup of water and 1 cup of juice a day for 40 days. Didn't have anything to eat for 40 days. And what that did was it aligned my body and put me in tune with my body. And I could really actually just travel out of my body. But with the understanding of it, though, see with the working of it, and once you learn to do that naturally, it's going to be totally different. I mean, I levitate out of my body and everything. Even now, I levitate out of my body and everything now, and I travel. Most of us don't know that when we lay down to rest, because we don't go to sleep. When we lay down to rest, we're actually traveling. We're out of our bodies. We're actually out of our bodies.
Yes, sir.
So that's
I believe that. I believe that because I used to have a lot of out of body experiences. It got to the point to where it scared my wife.
Yeah.
I used to be standing. Man, people gonna trip out. But I used to be standing next to my bed, looking at me and my wife laying in the bed.
Yes, sir.
I would never leave the room.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say to myself, "Hey, bro, wake up, man! Wake up!
Yeah."
My wife got so spooked. She took olive oil and she put crosses on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I tell her, I said, "Hey, I had another. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it." But I just feel like some people are more in touch with their spiritual or their universal energy than others.
Yes, you're in tune. Yeah, you are more in alignment. And these things, they really happen. For me, I literally be in other realms fighting. I mean, all out fighting. And then sometime when I come through, I'm standing in the middle of the floor. You know what I'm saying? But we actually have the ability to really go into other realms. And sometimes what happens is it becomes so real to us. And what I mean by real is that it's like our flesh want to get involved with it. You want to get into the action. And sometimes those muscles are not locked. You know what I mean? Usually, we have some type of sleep paralysis or something,
Oh, yeah.
But once you become skilled at it, you can break that code. You can break that bound, man, and get involved in it. So it's some powerful things happens. And I think in doing part, it needs more articulation on a level where, you know what I'm saying? You don't take someone out to, la la land somewhere, man.
Yeah. A lot of people, man, they scared to have these conversations. So when you start having these conversations, people be like, man, you way out there. No, man, this stuff is for real. This stuff really exists. I've had some, which some people would say weird experience. And you talked about when you talking about the apostle, like a feeling. You said a feeling came up. You say you saw this energy around this person. And I was about 25 years old, man. I was in Mississippi. I was stationed down in Mississippi. And some things were happening in my life, and I kind of just gave up. My question was did God exist? You know what I'm saying? Was God real? And I said, and at that point I was like, man, I guess God ain't real. This whatever's gonna happen. And I just said, I was sitting in the back of a church, I was sitting in the back of the church. And all of a sudden, man, out of nowhere, man, I started crying. I wasn't sad. And I couldn't understand why. I was like, man, why am I crying? I was crying hard, man. I like when you're a kid, you get your butt whipped by your mama. You and all that. You know what I'm saying? Man, all that was going on. Like, man, hold up. I don't want nobody to see me crying in the back of the church.
Right.
So I jumped up. But before I could get up, man, there was this beautiful feeling that came over my body. It was like a wave going through my body from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. It was a beautiful warm wave, and I could feel it. It was like a whoop, 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 going through my body. And there were beautiful colors around me that I could see. Peach color, like a teal. It was a beautiful yellow. It was beautiful colors I could see. I'm like, man, what's going on? It was like an energy, man, shooting out the top of my head. Boom. But it was a beautiful feeling. It was better than sex.
Yes, sir.
It was better than anything I ever felt in my life. And the tears were coming out, man. My mouth started moving. And words were coming out from a language that I never ever heard before. But all I could understand was that it felt like I was talking to God.
Yeah, you got struck. I call it being struck.
Because my whole life I had been like, oh man, this stuff fake. I've been in the Baptist church, I've been the Holiness church, and I seen people, I said, oh man, this stuff fake. Because I seen somebody pay some people to do some stuff like that.
Right.
You know? And so when it happened to me, man, and it happened, and my mouth started moving, I was like, whoa, hold up. I took my hands, I put them over my mouth and tried to hold my lips still. I couldn't. The words kept coming out. I jumped up, man. I ran to the restroom. At the time I was married, my wife followed me because she seen me, and she started crying because she saw what was happening to me. And then I went to the restroom. I looked, and I couldn't stop it. It was still coming out. This energy was, man, just shooting out. And I'm about to tell you, it's the best feeling I ever felt ever. It happened to me twice. Once when I was 25, once when I was 28. And she was crying, and I was like, man, this is real. There is a higher power.
Yes, you got struck. What happened, what really actually happened to you was your energy got turned on. The energy of your innermost being, your inner man. And in the Hebrew, we call it the neshama. The neshama is different from the ruach. The ruach in the neshama. Your neshama is your soul, it's you. It's that invisible person that you are. Well, that invisible person that you are is filled full of energy. Full of energy, but it's locked down. It hasn't been opened. It's still in its primordial state of being. It hasn't been activated. So what happens is if you get in the right place, you will get struck. In other words, I call it the universe is turning you on and preparing you for initiation. I'm writing a book now called When You Get Struck. That's the name of the book. And it's talking about, and it's talking about the very thing that you are even mentioning now. And I'm talking about how when you get struck, when your energy gets turned on. And if you notice, it was coming out of your head, all of those regions that energy is going to flow through, that crown chakra up there, all of that is going to have to deal with your pineal gland, and then with your pituitary and your pineal gland, and your cerebrum cortex, your medulla oblongata, your cerebellum, and your thalamus, hypothalamus. All of these things are going to work in concert. And the reason why when your mouth was moving rapidly, your lips were moving rapidly, and the voice was coming out, well, I guarantee you what was happening was because in the ancient world, we spoke from the back of our throats. We didn't speak from the front. We spoke from the back. And what that did was it vibrated our vocal cords. It vibrated them, and it stimulated the pineal gland, and we would have spiritual interaction. It would turn our spirit on. So when you hear me say the word like ruach, it's coming from back here. Ruach. You know what I'm saying? The shama, it's coming from there. It's creating a vibration, and it's also creating a frequency to hit you. And when it hits you, it's going to cause you to get on the same frequency. It's going to cause you to vibrate as well. And it makes the communication easier.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I'll never forget that moment. And I've talked about that moment with other people, and they've shared similar, situations or moments. And
Mhm.
it's been across, man, different walks of life, different colors.
Yes.
White, Asian, Hispanic. They've
Yes.
shared the same thing. We had a question come in
Mhm.
from Fran Fomine. How do we activate the pineal gland?
How do you activate it, stimulate it?
Yes,
Well,
sir.
it's a number of ways you can do it. Again, one of the ways that we talked about earlier, you can have hands laid on you, someone that really knows what they're doing, not just, somebody speaking some words over you. No,
Yeah.
but they really have the energy and the knowledge of what they're doing. They can activate it. Also, it can actually be activated through meditation, through meditating. Always remember that meditation, yes, breathing, because meditation, you're gonna have to know how to breathe.
Mhm.
Um, when that when the when the universe gets ready for you, nothing or no one is going to be able to stop you from getting activated or prepared for initiation. The reason why I'm saying this is that there are going to be those that we encounter in life that have come into our life for that specific reason, either to lay hands on us or to teach us how to meditate, to get into that meditative state. But what we want to realize is that don't try to clear your mind. That's a misnomer.
Mm.
Meditation isn't based upon you clearing your mind, because you'll never clear it, because the purpose of the mind is to do what? Think.
Yeah.
So you can't turn it off. I don't care what you try to do, you're not going to be able to turn it off. But what you're going to do is learn how to guide it. Guide it to the space and place where you need it to come or to go, right? And then what that does is it settles your mind in a certain position where now what you want to focus on becomes clear. You see how that worked? See, that's
Yeah.
totally different than, someone trying to tell you, just clear your mind, just clear your mind. You got to clear your mind of everything. You can't, the mind doesn't do that.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
built for that. It's built to do what? Think.
Mhm.
So that means that you have to turn it into a place where it brings forth eventually the thoughts that you want, because you got to let everything take its natural course. If you allow it to take its natural course, you can arrive at that place that you want to call peace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a question for you too.
Sure.
I was wondering about the big thing now is crystals. Is that actually valid, or is that actually a tool, or how's the using of
Oh,
crystals?
oh, yes, indeed. Crystals are very powerful. But they're not as powerful as we are, because actually we're the ones empowering them. Basically, everything that has power is a result of us. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah, but when you're dealing with crystals, because crystals have the ability to carry energy. It carries energy. Not only does it carry energy, but it also carries messages. You can code it with messages. You have you ever watched Superman and the
Yeah,
ship that Superman has? You notice what he have in the ship?
crystals. Yeah,
Crystals, right? And then he can push a crystal, and then it brings up what? Memory.
yeah,
You see, you notice that
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
they're telling you something.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's what we used to use them, like a crystal would be like if we wrote a letter today and put it in an envelope and send it in the mail. That's what that would be, how a crystal would be. It would hold that information, and you would take it to another location, give it to someone else, and the energy of it, they would be able to read it. Also, let's look in the sacred text. Let's look in the Bible. When you
Yes,
look in
sir.
the Bible, the high priest used to wear what they called what? A ephod. It was filled full of what? Stones.
Yeah.
Every kind of stone. It was filled full of stones. And but check this out. on the inside of the ephod, over the heart of the high priest, was 2 stones. It was a Urim and a Thummim. Urim and Thummim. These are stones now. You got to catch what I'm saying to you. When you talk about crystals, you're talking about stones. So they were used for the purpose of communicating with the Creator. Stones were. So everything serves a purpose as long as you understand what that purpose is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did that make any sense to you? Is that okay for you?
Yeah, it makes sense.
That make a lot of sense.
I just like, because like I have a one of my friends' wife is really into crystals. I just never understood the theory behind it. You know, she tried to explain it to me and like briefly, but you know, but you gave a good explanation though.
Well, one of the number one, you got a crystal right now in your brain.
Yeah.
Called your pineal gland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Piezo electricity is what your pineal gland produces. It's a piezo crystal that your that your pineal gland is made out of. And then magnetite is magnets, antennas that are in your brain. We have crystals all through our brain. We got crystals. You have crystals in your ears. If the crystals in your ears get off, you get vertigo. Yes, it messes with your equilibrium. So oh yeah.
Man, why do you think people don't know too much about this stuff?
Oh man, programming. I can just keep it as simple as that, and let me blow my nose, and then I'll elaborate a little bit. Hold on.
Go ahead. Hey, we keep it real.
Excuse me.
We keep it real. We keep it real.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, when we get to this level and start really, start talking about information like this, what has happened is it is a lack of knowledge due to programming or downloading programs that are incorrect, right? So it's hard to reprogram someone that don't know they need to be reprogrammed.
Yeah.
So when you start giving forth information like this, like we're doing, we're having this type of conversation right here. What happens is there's a tendency to create within a person cognitive dissonance. You know what I'm saying? They start getting static on the brain. It's like a radio. You know how radio is?
Yeah.
You can hear, yes. You can hear part of the song and then you can hear some of the song and right. That's a connotative, version of the definition though, but it's when you are giving them something that goes against their core values and their beliefs, and it creates yes. So it creates cognitive dissonance. So you have to find another measure and method, and oftentimes those measures and methods may not be so good to the feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You end up getting caught up. And then realize that, oh man, I got to change. I can't do this no more. So then you'll start seeking new information, or you may have a divine incident. You may run into someone that is powerful enough to touch you in a way that it activates something in you. These things still happen. We still have these kinds of incidents. So, and I think more so than ever now, we're getting what we call people that are now woke. They're woke and they're really beginning to understand their gifts and how those gifts work, and that's one of the things that I'm talking about in the book. And I'm talking about like whoever you may be assigned to. For example, you may be assigned to a swami, you know what I'm saying? You may be assigned to a seer. Whoever you are assigned to, they're going to have the information that's consistent with who you are. Right? Excuse me, just 1 second.
Oh, you got notifications coming in?
No, I had a notification come up. She robbed me of my thought. But
You said
let me
whoever
go
you
back to it.
assigned to.
Yeah, whoever you are assigned to will have a download for you. I know it sounds like the Matrix, but it's for real.
It is.
They'll have a download for you. They'll have a system of information just for you because they're waiting on you to show up, right?
Yeah.
And they'll download that information and it'll begin to activate you, just like someone was talking about activating the pineal gland. Information can also turn it on and activate it. If you download the correct information, it automatically begins to stimulate it and turn it on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about divine timing, and we use time loosely because we know there's no such thing as time.
Yeah, time don't exist. Yeah.
Yes. So we know that it is used as a measuring stick or a rod just for the purpose of identifying so that you know one thing from the other or when to and when not to, right? So we know we use it for a purpose.
Yes, sir.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's good, man. I'm glad we're having this conversation, man, because somebody need to hear this. Some people are going to think that we're going way left field, but somebody out here need to hear this stuff. And somebody out here is looking for this information. And we get this. And man, we appreciate you coming on here, man.
Oh, yes, indeed, man. It's my pleasure.
I've been waiting to have an episode like this. Hey,
You can
hear it in my conversation. I've been waiting to have a conversation like this.
Hey, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It is my pleasure, man. Listen, I love to communicate on a level, where we are really, man, just passionate about it and we can articulate it, and others benefit from it.
Yeah. What amazes me about everything is like you said, they give you pieces of it and they just call it other things. They give you a way of explaining it to you. Like they give you like a little chunk of it, but they don't give you enough to fully understand it.
That's correct. Yes.
So it's like science is trying to like catch up with what people have been saying all along. That's what I see. Because like even whether you're saying what the quantum stuff, like they say that they have like used to be just atoms when we were growing up. Now it's quarks. So now they kind of finally saying what you've been saying anyway, that we're all energy. It goes lower than the atom, and then quarks break down into something else. Then it break so we're all basically just in the end we're just energy.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I can tell you this. I'm gonna cut you off, but I can tell you this. The time I did try DMT, I could see the makeup of the dimension. People gonna flip out. They're gonna be like, man, what the hell T Swin talking about?
I know you on point.
Yeah, but I can see the makeup of the molecules. I can see the layers of. I can see through everything and see the makeup of it. I could see everything that it was, and it was amazing. And it was super high definition. People talk about 4K, 8K. Oh man, it was better than that. It was better than that. And so, man, these things are real. And I realized while having that experience, I realized that everything has energy, and that we all connected to all the energy. You know what I'm saying? And that the energy comes from the Creator. You know? And so it was a very eye-opening experience. And like I wasn't afraid of anything. When I came out of that, man, I wasn't afraid to die. I wasn't afraid of nothing. Material things didn't mean nothing to me. I knew that all this stuff was gonna pass. It didn't mean nothing. I knew it's kind of like I knew how small I was in the universe.
Yes.
And then it was amazing, man. I came out of it, man. It was and kind of like almost too, man. I would say I wasn't. It's kind of like somebody told me I was half in, half out. You know what I'm saying? Like a month or two, I felt like I was just sitting inside a car, inside my body. I felt like I was sitting inside a vehicle, looking out through the windows, driving the vehicle.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And, it took me a while to feel like what we want to call normal.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But I felt like I was just sitting in this vessel and looking out the windows with the eyes. But it was an amazing experience, man. I'll never forget it.
Yes. when you get into real deep meditation, it has the same type of way of doing that you could just leave it. It doesn't, you're not stressed by it. It doesn't hold you bound and you're not caught up. You're free. You free flow. And you actually really understand interstellar connectivity. It's an interstellar connectivity that is created by plexus that joins all of us together, that we have access. What do we call it now? What? Networking. What are we really saying if we're saying we're networking? When you look at that word net, if you look at it in the Greek, even if you look at it in the Bible, when it says that when Jesus came, he said that Peter was mending the nets. They were mending the nets. The disciples were mending the nets. When you look that up in the Greek, that expression means information stations. They were actually setting up information stations. Catch what I'm saying to you. Each one of us is a information station.
Yeah.
We are carrying downloads.
Yeah.
And with the energy that is within us, we can talk to each other. You don't have to be in the same location. We was talking about that earlier. Have you, and I'm pretty sure both of you have experienced this. Have your phone ever rang when you were just thinking about the person that's on the phone, on the call?
Yeah.
Have that ever happened to you?
Yes, sir, it has.
Yes. Guess what happened? Your thoughts connect. They threw that thought into your mind. They threw it to you. Through what? With energy.
Yeah.
We still do it. We still do it, but we don't do it where we really recognize that that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still there. It's working.
It's just like what you're saying, man. Like me and my mother, man. I have that happen a bunch of times with her. I'll be thinking something and she just go ahead and say it. I just think that. So it's like the same thing. So
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Like I'm new. Like T Swin has more knowledge because he's actually studied different stuff. I'm kind of new to all this, so I'm trying to get a good grasp of everything. But thank you for giving us so much good information.
Sure.
But what else I like to say? I'm trying to think of everything. I'm trying to, since I got somebody who knows more depth in it than I do. I'm trying to get all my questions out. Like you were saying about the how stuff was hitting into Christianity. Like T Swin was saying, the colors of the colors are actually the garments and stuff, the colors and the stuff as like that. What other things have been kind of hitting in Christianity that you might know about?
When you think about the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
You think about the Ark of the Covenant. It's funny because the Ark of the Covenant actually is a conduit. It actually deals with energy. And that energy, when you think about it, it was the Ark of the Covenant is what? Gold.
Yeah.
Gold is the highest what? Conductor.
Yeah.
Energy passes through gold with ease, other than anything else. Gold does.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's why it's everything. That's why we use gold in electronics, because it's such a good conductor of electricity.
Exactly. So when they talk about the Ark of the Covenant,